Let's see here. Still says preparing. I'm not sure why. Hold on. Oh, here we go. Let me try this. Okay, I think it's finally connecting. I'm sorry about that. I'm not sure why we were delayed like that. I think we're live. Yeah, I think I finally figured it out. So hello Phi Theta Kappa. Hello, Internet. Thank you very much for joining us today. This is Confessions of a Transfer Admissions Rep. We're going to talk about transfer admissions and all the different things that go into that process, kind of on both sides of the coin. My name is Ron Filipowicz. I'm with Phi Theta Kappa in the transfer relations team at the organization. Very glad to be here today to put this on. I've got a couple of my friends, colleagues, folks I've worked with now for a bit and in the past with me today. I'm going to have them do a real quick hello, but then later kind of introduce themselves more in a more, fuller, in-depth way. But go ahead, Debbie, and say hello.
Hello, Debbie here.
Very good. And also we have who is below me there?
I'm Jordan.
Excellent, excellent. Well, before we get started today, again, thank you very much for taking the time to join us. Hope you're doing well wherever you're at. I think all of us were experiencing a lot of crazy things right now. A lot of things none of us have ever experienced before. Some sad things a lot of us unfortunately have before as well. And, hopefully this 25 minutes or so can take your mind off some things. You can spend some time with us, learn something, maybe help you kind of move your future together, put your future together, etc. But we're here for you, and we're really glad to be able to do this in such crazy kind of unprecedented time. So enough about that. We put this together because the transfer process is tough, right? It's so different from what a lot of people experience when they're in high school and go straight to a four-year college, kind of the FTC within the admissions speak. It's known as it's just transfer is just such a different ball game. And my background is I was a director of transfer for a number of years. It's where I came into contact with Phi Theta Kappa, learned all about the organization, and really, enjoyed working with students, and did some great things for the university I was at and the students I was able to work with. And then kind of fast forward, those connections led me to where I'm at now with Phi Theta Kappa and helping folks, the two folks that you're seeing here on the screen, but then other folks all across the US, learn how to better connect with all of our Phi Theta Kappa members and do community college transfer better, right? But it's a difficult process, right? It's like putting a puzzle together. And it's a different puzzle for every student that each one of these folks come into contact with, right? And then kind of on top of that, there are so many different pieces at each of their colleges and universities that they have to have fall into place to help just one of you matriculate to their institution, right? So there's a lot of things that go on kind of behind the scenes that maybe you don't know about, maybe you've never heard about, that make these shops run, right? And allow these very professional people to do their good work with you to help ensure that your transfer process is a smooth one. It's not easy work. You're dealing with lots of different people, as I just mentioned, lots of different parts of the college. And sometimes it seems like it's kind of duct taped together and how are we going to do this? But these folks make it work, right? And so, again, what we're doing today is we kind of want to just talk a little bit about that so you kind of know as you're going through your process what's happening at the college and the university that you're looking at, right? So you kind of understand some of the processes that have to take place for you to get XYZ done in order for you to come to the college. And in hopes, that learning that will help you, give you a broader understanding of the process in general. So kind of setting the table there, as I mentioned, I'd like each of the folks here on the webinar with us today to kind of talk about who they are, what they do at their institution, actually what institution they're at, just a little brief intro, and then we'll kind of get to more of the meat and potatoes, okay? And we're going to switch it up this time to keep these two on their toes. We're going to start with Jordan, and then Debbie's going to go second. What do you think of that?
Really surprising me there, keeping me on my toes.
It was flipped it around. Thank you.
Yeah, so my name is Jordan Dubberke. I am an assistant director of transfer admissions with Valparaiso, Indiana. We are a mid-sized liberal arts institution located in Valparaiso, Indiana, just an hour outside of Chicago. I have been working with Valpo as a part of our transfer team since August of 2019. So haven't been around for too long, but I was actually a transfer student myself at Valpo. So I had a really wonderful opportunity to be a transfer student, work for another school before coming back home to Valpo. And now I get to work with students much like myself. So yeah, I'm always happy to help any of our transfer students go through that process.
Excellent. Thank you.
And hi, I am Debbie Aiken from Oglethorpe University. Oglethorpe is a small private liberal arts college in Atlanta. And I also was a transfer student. My husband was military, so we moved around a lot, and I attended a lot of different colleges and eventually completed my degree in Oglethorpe's adult degree program. And so I'm also an alumna of my employer. Cool. And I've been working there for about 7 years, and and my current role is the Director of Extended Learning, which means I manage all of our incoming transfer and adult degree program students.
Excellent, excellent. Well, thank you, folks. Even just hearing the way the both of you described kind of your schools just very briefly and your experiences, it really, I just always keep thinking about that, how like each student that you come in contact with, you're putting a different puzzle together for each one of them based on their interests, based on what they want to do with themselves, based on what your college can do for them and how things work at your college, right? And that's what's fun about this role, is that you get to see like how everybody does their magic, right? So that's neat. Now, what I want to kind of start with is a lot of students that are probably watching right now utilize PTK Connect to help them with their process and put the pieces together and learn about colleges and scholarships and so forth. I don't know if a lot of students understand, though, that the other side of the coin is folks like yourselves can utilize PTK Connect in a way to help you engage with our membership, right? Engage with our students through their chapter And so one, if you could kind of share maybe, a little bit about how that works and why you need a tool like that to engage with students. So I don't know if students really have had the opportunity to understand how exactly that side of the coin works for four-year schools. And then, how that starting point, engaging with students, leads into the different steps in the transfer process. Like that's the first step, but then where do you go from there? And let's keep this kind of flip-flop thing going, and let's go with Debbie first on this one, Jordan. Okay. Again, I know I switched it up, but it's kind of making it fun, I think. So Debbie, please.
Keeping it real, keeping it exciting here, Ron. Uh, yeah, PTK is an excellent tool for students, certainly, because all of the participating colleges have these really robust profiles where you can search, you can filter your search based on what you're looking for. If you want to stay close to home, if you want a small college, certain major you're looking for, great tool for students to use to kind of narrow their search and reach out to people, reach out to those colleges directly through, PTK, and find the right people at those colleges to contact. But yeah, as Ron mentioned, we also use it to find PTK students who might be interested in us. So we are always looking to find highly qualified transfer students who we think would be a good fit for Oglethorpe. And a lot of our students come from the metro Atlanta area, so it's helped us connect with those students nearby to get them to campus and share that information and connect with their PTK chapter advisors as well. And Jordan, I don't want to dominate the conversation here, so I'll toss it over to you.
Well, I definitely agree with everything you said. It's such a great tool, and it's definitely something I wish I would have something similar access to when I was looking at my own transfer process, because you can really filter things out and see and explore just different schools that might fit what you're looking for that you maybe didn't even think of before. And again, the profiles are so robust. Like you said, Debbie, it's amazing how much information you can get just from that simple tool of seeing everything that you need and really filtering it down for yourself as well. Being able to save profiles that you really like or want to explore a little bit further and finding that contact information, it keeps you organized and allows you to kind of streamline those thoughts of what you're looking for. But then on the flip side, especially looking at our roles, most schools have specialty programs or programs that they are looking for qualified students for. So a lot of times we're using it for our College of Engineering or College of Nursing, we're looking for those candidates who are highly qualified, who would be a great fit at our institution. So it helps us too to see those students, especially because a lot of the students I work with are coming from all over the country. So we have students from California all the way to New York and everywhere in between. So it's great to be able to connect with them and start that conversation because they're not always in our backyard. So it's great to have that streamline for them to see, the virtual tour of campus, see the scholarships that we offer, see what campus looks like, and then also have our contact information right there. And you can kind of create that list and build that profile of what you're looking for as well. And then get in contact with us or we can get in contact with you. So it's a really great resource for all of our students.
I like that word conversation, right? Relationship, right? I think that the more students understand that, and obviously the both of you and everybody in admissions is always pressed for time and you've got, a million different things to do and whatever, but my favorite part of when I was able to do admissions work was the relationship building and was the talking to individual students about what it is they were interested in. Hey, we met each other at a fair, or I sent you a message and you responded and we started a conversation, whatever it was that started that conversation, which then led to a relationship, a back and forth. That was the best part, right? And I think, and the both of you certainly will be in this category, but to me, being a good professional admissions person is building a relationship with each individual student as much as you can, that helps them make the best choice for themselves. And if that's your institution, great, right? That's what your job is to do. But I think writ large, in from a larger point of view, if you do your job well, and the student understands that and sees how you interact with them, and they force other admissions folks to interact with them in that same positive and back and forth way, and they end up at a better place for them, hey, you did your job. That doesn't always help you get your numbers, obviously, but that's a different conversation. But anyway, I've rambled on a bit, and kind of to build on what we just started talking about. So I'm a Phi Theta Kappa student, right? I join, I'm excelling in the classroom. I'm enjoying my experience in the chapter, challenging myself in different ways, doing a lot of different stuff. I get an email, right? I get a piece of print in the mail from a college. What should I do? Should I throw it away? Should I ignore it? What should I do? What do you say, Jordan?
Well, I mean, I guess it depends on who you are and how much mail you're getting, because each student is unique in their own way. And if you were much like my little sister was, who's a freshman, who just finished her freshman year, she didn't read anything, no matter how much I told her to read it. But do sisters really ever listen to you?
Right,
No,
yeah.
they don't, unfortunately. But if I were to give a piece of advice, I would always encourage our students to at least take a look at it, and the specific program you're looking for, or the location you're looking for, and it's a school you haven't heard of before, or there's additional scholarship opportunities. You always want to reach out and see that, because it takes you 2 seconds before you decide to recycle it or move that email into a different inbox. Definitely just read it and see, because you never know what you're missing out on and what connections you might be making through that email of saying, hey, you're a Phi Theta Kappa member. We have a scholarship for Phi Theta Kappa members, and we have the program that you want. Check this out, look and see. We want to connect you to faculty and staff in that program. So always looking at that, you never know what you're going to miss if you don't read it. So I always say, when you get it, just take a quick glance, read through it, see what's going on, and then you can move on from there.
Yeah, definitely. Debbie, anything to add on to that?
Yeah, I can add on to that. Hopefully you don't have any trouble hearing me. I think my internet's a little choppy here, but yeah, I would say the same thing. Don't just toss in the trash. At least look at it. Google the school real quick and see if they have what you might be looking for. We have so many students who come to campus and get there, and they look around and they say, I had no idea you were here. And Oglethorpe's been in Atlanta for literally over 100 years on Peachtree Road there in Atlanta. So don't throw it away. You never know what you might be missing. Just take a look at it real quick. Go on their website, request some info, look at their transfer page, and check them out. It might be exactly what you're looking for.
I think a really cool thing to understand too about folks like Debbie and Jordan and all over the country that really want to excel in their position and serve students is that they understand what how Phi Theta Kappa works, not just as the whole organization, but as you as an individual, as a part of your chapter. You're there, trying to excel, trying to have a great experience, trying to move on to your next step. But to me, there was always this sort of cohort experience and support that was kind of built into the chapter that when I was doing admissions work, I really, really enjoyed. And, you get to know the chapter advisors and you get to know the student leadership, and, that churns over the years, but that connection is made. And I think admissions folks that understand that are really able to help the whole process work better, right? Not just, okay, the transfer part, which is their job, but how can we help? How can our institution help your chapter have a better and a deeper experience Phi Theta Kappa while you're at the community college, right? And so I think knowing that, keep that in mind. Like when you are receiving emails or you're receiving stuff through the mail, you're not just representing yourself in the way that you interact or choose not to interact. You are representing a collection, right? Your chapter and the organization as a whole. And just the simple fact that there are amazing colleges like Oglethorpe and Valpo that are reaching out to you simply because, or only because really, you're a Phi Theta Kappa member, that's fantastic, right? So that in and of itself is worth the price of admission in being a member, in my opinion, right? You're differentiating yourself, right? And so admissions folks understand that. And that's why they send you things, right? That's why they want to work with you. So just, I don't know if students really, why would they have that understanding, or why would they know the inner workings of that? So I think that's a kind of an interesting, fun thing to share with everybody. It's important that that's happening, because that means colleges want to work with you as students. Gosh, it's already 5:25. We're rolling right along here. We've already covered some stuff. You know what? Let's do this. If there's one thing within the transfer process that you would like our student members to know about, that maybe ends up being a sticking point at the very end, or something that you struggle with to help students with, that if they think about it ahead of time really puts them in a better position, what would that be? And feel free to say, no, I don't want to answer that, Ron. I want to talk about something else if you want. But to me, I think that can be a helpful thing for our students. And again, sticking with our theme, I have to be honest, I'm not very detail oriented. I've already forgotten who went first last. So I'm going to leave it up to the professionals on this. I think it was Debbie, wasn't it? It was Debbie, right? It's Debbie's turn.
I think it's Jordan's turn to go first.
Man, okay. I knew it.
Throw me under the bus,
I had
Debbie.
50%
Okay.
chance to be right. 50%, and I lost this time, but that's all right. Jordan, please. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the things we struggle with a little bit more on the transfer side is helping our students understand the timeline. Because with first-time freshmen, it's such a linear timeline, and it looks pretty similar for every single student. Whereas with our transfer students, it's going to look so unique for each one of them, and each timeline is just going to be a little bit more flexible. So it's still the general, you're going to apply, for Valpo at least, you're going to apply, you're going to send us all of your information, so your application, your transcripts, submit FAFSA, make sure we get all the information that we need from you, you're going to touch base with your counselor, go through the admission process, and then we're going to review your credits, get that all reviewed. And for transfer students, that process typically comes a little bit later than our first-time freshmen. A lot of our transfer students aren't applying until second semester in the school year or even over the summer, and that's completely normal. And so I think something I always hear from transfer students is like, I don't want to be rushed. I'm just concerned. I know I have this semester coming up and I'm getting all these A's and I'm nailing all my classes. My GPA is going to go up. Is it going to hurt me to wait? And the reality is transfer students, you have a little bit more flexibility. We can work with you. That is the best part of our job, is working with you on a one-on-one basis, because you are unique and each one of you is different. So it allows us to have that flexible timeline of, we're gonna get everything done for you. We're gonna make it work and it's all gonna be great. We're just gonna do it a little bit different. We're gonna do it directly with you. So it's all gonna be unique to you. And I think just having our students understand that they're not running late. If it's the first week of class, then we might be a little concerned. But when it's it's May or June, I guess it's June now, you're still fine. We're still here to work with you. I know it's flying by. We're still here to work with you, and we're going to create that custom timeline for you, and we're going to get it all done.
Thank you.
Yeah, I agree that with transfers, we'll make it happen. Everybody is unique. Everybody's situation is a little bit different, so it might not. If you're coming in over the summer, you might have to move a little quicker than usual. But yeah, I agree. I agree, Jordan. The two things that I would say are super important for transfers to remember. One is once the semester is over, get those final transcripts in ASAP, because we can give you and I think this is true for most schools, we can give you an idea of what you're going to get with transfer credit, but nothing's official till we get the official transcript. So get those in as soon as you can. And your admission counselor wants you to email them and contact them and text them, and once campuses are open, come visit them. We are here to help you, and the students who I feel have the easiest and smoothest transition into the community are the ones that stayed in touch and asked a million questions along the way. Don't feel bad. I have students all the time that are like, I'm sorry, I'm emailing you again. I'm sorry, it's me again. And I say, no, I love it. I want you to ask 1,000 questions.
It's my job.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's why we're here. And admission professionals are trained to know pretty much everything about at least a little bit about everything on campus, because we have to answer questions about everything. So utilize those resources and get to know your admission counselor along the way.
I couldn't agree more. Honestly, getting to know your admissions counselor changes everything because they know who you are. You're touching base with them, making sure everything's going smoothly, making sure you've got everything, and it just makes your transition so much easier and so much smoother. And then, if you need anything, you can always have that one point of contact. Reach out to them, and even if I'm not the expert or you need to talk to someone else, great. I know exactly who you need to talk to, and I'm going to connect you right away to them. So it can just really help to, again, it's all about relationships, building that connection with your admission counselor right away.
Yep.
And it makes my job so much more exciting when I get to talk to my students.
Yeah. That's right.
Yeah, because otherwise you're just taking a nap in your office, right?
I'm just talking to my dog. I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, come on, folks, reach out. We need
And
something to do.
we love getting to know the students that are coming in. We're not just here robots like pressing buttons.
Yeah, you're not bots. Yeah.
We like to get to know students and understand why they're transferring and what's going on and what they're looking for and how we can help make that transition smooth. So yeah.
Yeah, learning how folks are gonna add to your learning community and what you think of the place where you work, and both of you graduated from where you work now too. I always loved that part of it too. I was lucky enough to work at the place I graduated from too, and just being able to see people, thrive and like that. It was fun. I mean, it really made it meaningful to do this work. So that's I don't know. I mean, I think that's ultimately why we do this. We want people to succeed, and we want to see those people grow. So that's what's fun about it. But yeah, I mean, so I hope, like, it's already 5:30, so we want to just go about a half hour. Went by really fast, but to me, what did we hope you learned today? Maybe a little bit about what's going on behind the scenes, kind of in the background at the colleges and universities you're looking at. But for me, main takeaway from these two lovely people: relationships. Build those relationships. Make them last. And sometimes you got to ask hard questions. You got to make hard decisions. It's better to have somebody you trust, somebody who you've made a connection with, to do those, right? Because it can be tough to decide what college to go to, and when money's involved and all that, right? It's not an easy process. So you better lean on these folks that are in place to help you with the whole thing, right? Because they want to do it. So I've rambled on enough. Please, Jordan, Debbie, any parting shots at me? Anything I could have done a lot better? No, please, anything you'd like to share before we sign off tonight?
Thanks for having us. We really value our relationship with PTK, and it's helped connect us with students that are a great fit for the Oglethorpe community. So thanks for having us.
I second that. Thank you so much for inviting us to be a part of this. And we just value all of our PTK students on campus because they bring so much to the Valpo community. So we always love having them and really just enjoy getting to connect with PTK like this, and hopefully with our students soon on campus as well.
We certainly value both Oglethorpe and Valpo too. We appreciate the long-time connections with both colleges. And you know, first and foremost, we value all the students out there that got to check this out today, or maybe going to check it out later, but are going through your transfer process now, just about to start it. Maybe we'll start it later and make life tough for folks like Jordan and Debbie. But
It's our
anyway,
job
thank you
to
so
make it
much.
easy for them.
That's right. Yeah. Regardless of when you start your process, it's your job to make it easy for them. So, you know, tough, right?
Put us to
But no, thank you so much, everybody, for being here tonight. Everybody, keep your heads up. You know, stay safe, stay healthy, and you know, try to have a good night tonight. And thank you so much. Take care,
Thank you.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. All right. I stopped the live stream. I hope. No, I'm joking. Yeah, I did. Very good. Let me